basic, quintessential, Southern style, classic smothered cabbage recipe with the option to elevate with one additional step by adding a gravy on top. For me, smothered means exactly what it says. There should be like a lot of smothered stuff, like a liquid or gravy on top of like stuff to smother it. And a lot of smothered cabbage recipes I've seen kind of lacking on the smothered side. And so I wanted to make sure that I brought to you a recipe that was truly, cabbage that was smothered, right? And you can do it like the traditional way, or you can add the additional step to get that extra level of smotheredness. I don't know if that's a word, but shit, it sounds good to me. And that's it, in terms of like the inspiration behind the dish. I just wanted to make sure that I was living up to the smothered connotation and the interpretation of what smothered means. And for me, it means a lot of stuff on top of the cabbage. Another way to elevate the flavor profile in this dish is to use a Trinidad green seasoning. You can make your own, pretty simple, or you can buy it in stores. This is a brand that I like to use. You can find it in most like Hispanic type markets or Caribbean influenced markets. It's like a really good seasoning base. Think of it like a sofrito or a Holy Trinity used in Cajun food, or Haitian épices if you're familiar with Haitian food. But as a fresh herbal like element to the dish, brightens it up, gives it just a more unique flavor. So you get like this Caribbean, Cajun, soul food fusion dish, which is what I like to do. So the song for this week is Hurry Tuesday Child, by Bobby Gentry. It's a dope song. I want to say it's like 70s era, but it's got a little bit of country, a little bit of soul, a little bit of pop, a little bit of folk, a little bit of jazz. The music is dope, and her voice is like awesome. I'm talking like, you got a little bit of like Amy Winehouse, a little bit of Mary J. Blige, in terms of like just the emotion and the soulfulness in the voice. Even though like she's more of a kind of a country kind of folk artist, the vibe is on point. Definitely think you're gonna like the track. So go over to my Instagram page or TikTok, or even like check out the shorts. You can see the combination of the music paired with the cabbage. So the story behind the dish is my summers when I was a kid, my grandparents used to send me to the country, which is basically like East Texas, very much like the Deep South. And that's how I spent my summers. And when I would get homesick, we had a lot of cafeterias, throughout the South. So like a Luby's, Wyatt's, Furr's cafeteria. You get classics like green beans, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, Salisbury steak, fish, and cabbage. My grandmother made a mean cabbage, and so when I was feeling like homesick, I would always go double on the cabbage at the Piccadilly's in Greenville, Texas, which is like, again, that Southern cafeteria style restaurant. And so the song I heard playing all the time in the background at Piccadilly's was this song by Bobby Gentry, Hurry Tuesday Child. So it was on my mind when I was thinking about making or recreating my grandmother's dish with my spin on it. So boom, there you go. Choose a fresh green cabbage, not red cabbage, not purple cabbage, not Napa cabbage, but basic, plain, green, leafy cabbage. You want crisp leaves, not the flimsy leaves, wilting leaves. And to know how you're getting it, if you're getting a fresh green cabbage, hold it in your hand. If it feels dense and heavy in your hand, odds are you got the right kind of cabbage. Also check the leaves. They should be crispy, not wilted. It's okay if you got a couple on the outside that are slightly wilted, but if you pull them off, the rest of them should be nice and crisp. How you slice the cabbage is important. You want to halve the cabbage, remove the core, and then after that, I always tell people, cut the cabbage leaves as evenly as possible. Don't have to be perfect. Perfect is not the goal, but you want them somewhat uniform because it helps with cooking. It will cook evenly. It's easier for each part of the cabbage to get soaked in all of that fresh, rich flavor that's in the pot. You want to cook these slow. This is not like a high heat burn. This is cooked slow, somewhat low, to allow the cabbage sweetness to kind of caramelize, more flavor when you take that approach. So quicker is not always better in this case. You know, it's a Southern way. We do things, we take our time. That's what we do down here. We got time. I try to flavor it every step. You guys have followed me, you probably noticed that. I take all my dry spice seasonings, mix them up in a small bowl, you know, really nice. And then as I cook, each step, I just add a little more to get that layered effect flavor-wise. And so from an eating experience, you get that multiple layer enjoyment, right? You get flavors in the front, you get flavors in the middle, you get flavors at the back of your tongue. All of that is because of like the timing of when you add different seasonings, as well as like the combination of those seasonings. So you have a really good eating experience. And so when you combine that with some of the other flavor enhancers like the bacon, like the sausage, like the onions and the garlic, you get like this really cool explosion of flavors at different points in time that just tickle your fancy a little bit. You definitely want to add some liquid to help with the cooking, whether it's water, chicken stock, veggie stock, that's your choice. But the water is helpful to, you know, add a little steam to facilitate the cooking. You will need that to get the cabbage nice and tender. And you don't want to cook these too long because they'll get overcooked and they'll be like really soft and soggy. That's just not a good look. That's just not a good look. I like texture. I like a little bit of chewy, especially when it comes to my vegetables. I don't know about you, but I don't like any food mushy except for maybe mashed potatoes. If you want to add some color, that's some additional nutrition to the dish, you can. I wouldn't go too far. You know, like I said, this is meant to be simple, easy, and just delicious. So don't go crazy with the ingredients. But yeah, you want to add some peppers, like some sweet peppers or bell peppers. That'd be great. You can add like red, yellow, orange, green peppers, make the dish look even more appealing. But that's about it. Like I said, I wouldn't get crazy with the vegetables. You don't need a whole lot. Yeah, and you might want to consider adding some vinegar at the end of your cooking. You need a little tart, you know, not overdone, but like maybe some cider vinegar to balance out things, to brighten the dish a little bit. Because you got bacon, you got sausage, that's a lot of fat, a lot of richness. So you're gonna need something to cut through all of that, break it up, make it easy on you, digestion, all of that good stuff. Hey, I'm trying to look out for you. Trust me on this. So go ahead and you don't need a lot, just a little bit of splash to break things up, and then you're good to go. And you will appreciate the greatness of this dish. So thanks for joining me and vibing with me. Definitely leave a comment, leave a like. Most importantly, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button to get updates weekly when I post new content. Till then, be inspired and inspire others. Peace out.